Hi, this is Rob Voisey. This is our watch party for the upcoming Composer's Voice show that airs on Manhattan Neighborhood Network here in New York City. And this huge cast of characters that you see is all camp or campground, right? Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Um, I let me start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit what's camp?
It's contemporary art music project, and we got really cool acronym CAMP. Um, so we promote new music by collaborating with composers, ensembles, and also other arts organizations. We're based in Tampa, Florida, and we do a lot of concerts and projects. But our biggest event is the festival, CAMPGround.
Cool. Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit so campground, what happens there?
So Campground is a festival that happens in March in Tampa. It's a 3-day festival where we have 4 different concerts, and we also host installations. And this year we'll be having a special house installation project as one of the special things that's happening just for this year. But otherwise, we bring in about 25 composers, and we this year have special commissioned composer group called the Iranian Female Composers Association, who will be writing us a new melodrama for our soprano soloist, Jamie Jordan.
Awesome. That sounds so cool. And yeah, so this show that we're going to be presenting is the works from the first night of your festival, of which I went down and filmed, and we live streamed, and hung out with my tech buddy Indigo. Indigo, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and at camp?
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. I'm Indigo Connect. I am currently the Assistant Director for Contemporary Art Music Project. I work closely with Yumi on arranging campground and keeping our website up to date. I have a great time communicating with the composers, especially our young composers that join us. And of course, I get to hang out with the best tech crew ever.
It was a lot of fun. And yeah, and just to quickly introduce one of those composers who we will be hearing his work is here, Philippe. Tell us a little bit
Hi.
about yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Felipe. I had the enormous pleasure of participating at camp for the first time last year. And the work that we'll be presenting shortly is a piece for piano and electronics titled Salsa Vapor, which I had the privilege to have performed by you and me. And this is a piece that I wrote as an homage to the late Mexican composer Javier Alvarez, who passed away in 2023. He's someone who had an immense impact in my compositional career early on, very influential. I had the opportunity to meet him in 2015. And one of the things that his music was very characteristic, or one of the things that was very characteristic of his music was his eclecticism and his interest in like combining multiple influences in his music. And in this work, you're going to see some of that reflected by the interaction and intersection between salsa music and vaporwave music. So
Cool. Yeah, the vaporware. There's got questions about that, but first let me just reach out to our audience. Anybody who's listening, If you have any questions or comments about camp or the things,
Oh,
David Ben, look at that. Oh yes.
cool. Thank you, David.
So yeah, please feel free to ask and comment and so forth. Part of the this is a get to know everybody sort of thing. That's why we do this watch party. It's the open forum. So somebody from camp, tell me. So campground. So this is a performance from CAMPGround25. CAMPGround26 is coming up, and you guys have a call for works. So why should people send you? Why should people send you stuff?
Because we are cool. No, it's open to anyone. All open to all composers, all creators. We have called for acoustic works, electroacoustic works, and also installation proposer, which is separate from the special house installation project. We are collaborating with IFCA, like Kevin just shared, and Vox Novus, and street dance group Dysfunctioners. We had them at 2025 as well, so we're going to work with them again. It's gonna be fun. We have some crazy venues as always, and we're very excited to receive different works and present really kind of diversity in new music. So yeah, anybody wants to add?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I definitely one thing I love about Campground is the diversity of works and just the age ranges for all composers. I mentioned that we work with student composers, but it's not just students. We have late career composers as well. Anyone is welcome to apply. I do like to plug that for students who apply and are accepted to the festival, we do offer student housing if they would like to take that. And I just think it's a great way to meet a lot of great new people. The performers are fantastic. I had the chance to work with the camp ensemble themselves before I became the assistant director, and that was one of the best experiences I've had. So you can't go wrong with any of the performers in whatever piece you submit.
So I think that's an important thing to note. That's a little bit different from a lot of festivals. Is basically so the festival's campground, but camp is the ensemble. First of all, you guys are fabulous. I've personally worked with camp on the 15 Minutes of Fame project. That's another whole thing. But Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about your group, who you are, what you do, where you're from?
Yeah, sure. So we the camp ensemble is a big collective of musicians, and so we have some of us who are located in Tampa and in Florida, but our board is basically located in Florida. But then a lot of our performers live abroad or in other states. So, for instance, our trumpet player Arda and our violinist Sini both live in Finland. And our soprano, Jamie Jordan, is coming down from New York City. So we have a lot of people coming from all over the place that take part in this festival. And we like to try to make sure that each composer is having, an open line of communication with us, the performers, before the festival. And it's not, such a transactional experience. Like you send us the piece, we learn it, we play it, but you send us the piece and we study it and we go back and forth and we ask questions and we make sure that we're giving an interpretation of your piece that you can be proud of.
Excellent. Yeah, and to to put everything out in the open. I'm kind of hardcore about festivals and new music and so forth. I'm like it's kind of a business like everything else, and I'm all about empowerment to new music and stuff like that. Thank you for inviting me to come down and work with you guys. But besides that, it was such a great environment to be in. I think very few festivals sort of embrace the community aspect of that. I had a great experience personally as part of the tech crew. But Philippe, why don't you tell us a little bit about that? You were one of the composers, so you walk into CAMPGround. What did you think?
I mean, I was about to second Indigo's comments. I think, CAMPGround is a great opportunity because you are going to be attending a festival where there's going to be a very wide range of musical styles and traditions, people from different parts of the world, people in different stages in their career. I think Yunmi, Kevin, and Indigo and the whole team really go out of their way to make everyone feel like they're there to increase the quality of the experience to the degree that they can. It's very well organized, and it's also fairly unique because it's not just this stale sort of festival where you go and everything is happening in the same venue, and it's just non-stop concerts all day, and there's not a chance to really talk to other people and sort of reflect on each concert. So it's 3 days, but you have the opportunity to really enjoy the festival. It's not sort of something that you're going to be exhausted at the end. And yeah, you really get to listen to a lot of really cool music, get to know a lot of people, and also enjoy the great food that Tampa has to offer, and all the really cool architecture and different parts of the city.
We should not forget Ybor City. I have to admit. So Tempus. So this performance is at Tempus Projects. It's in Ybor City, and that was a great. I'm a foodie. I like to eat. So yeah, it was a lot of food, a lot of fun to get some Cuban food. That was great. But the whole.
And also, if I may add, if you live in the north of the U.S., great part of the year to just get away from the cold.
Mm-hmm.
It is indeed. Cool. Well, our show is going to start in a minute. Let me see if I can pull that up. Meanwhile, I know Indigo and Umi are off to do other camp adventures. No forest fires, guys. Sorry, I had to. It's too bad. So yeah, thank you for joining us, and Philippe and Kevin will be there, man in the fort, and and after the show we'll answer any other questions. Let's see what we got here. Hello, and welcome to Composer's Voice. I'm Robert Voisey. In this episode, we're going to take you to Tampa, Florida, in Ybor City, for the opening night of CAMPGround25. This festival is presented by the Contemporary Art Music Project, or CAMP, a bold organization dedicated to showcasing living composers and adventurous new music from around the world.
My name is Kevin Von Kampen, percussionist and board member with the Contemporary Art Music Project. CAMP would like to invite you to submit your acoustic and electroacoustic works, as well as installation proposals for our 5th International New Music Festival, CAMPGround26, happening from March 5th to March 7th in Tampa, Florida. This year, CAMP will be collaborating with the Iranian Female Composers Association to premiere 3 new monodramas. We'll also be unveiling a special house installation project, which we've entitled A Little House Music. The call is open to all composers, and for more information, including guidelines and to submit your works, please visit our website, contemporaryartmusicproject.org.
Campground is where experimentation meets expression. Each year, it brings together artists creating music that pushes boundaries, challenging the ear, and inviting the imagination. And it all takes place in this remarkable venue, Tempus.
Tempus Projects is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are an arts organization that functions primarily as an exhibition space for visual artists. We also host workshops and have a residency program where we invite people to come from all over the country and sometimes all over the world to come and write, create, compose, and then we feature those works in our galleries or in our shared spaces to feature what the residency has been about. We also host a lot of special events, and we like to partner with people in our community. One of those events is CAMPGround, and we are very excited to be working with CAMP again this year. It helps to broaden our reach in our community, and it gives us a diverse opportunity to work with people in different media, specifically current and contemporary avant-garde music and other classical music. And we just love being a host for different adventurous projects.
This partnership between Camp and Tempus creates a perfect space for a night of boundary-pushing performances. Our next piece is sizzling, playful, and full of character. It's called Salsa al Vapor, or Steamed Salsa, a work for solo piano by Colombian-born composer Felipe Tovar Hanao, performed by the brilliant pianist Umi Ko. Felipe creates music that bridges worlds, melding his Latin American roots with contemporary techniques, humor, and a deep sense of rhythm. It's a piece that builds and bubbles, playfully boiling over with unexpected twists. The performer here is Umi Ko, an adventurous pianist known for her fearless interpretations of new music around the globe. She brings out every flick and splash and sizzle in this piece, with impeccable timing and a touch of theatrical flair. It's virtuosic, it's witty, and it's a perfect bite of musical spice. So now, here's Umi Ko performing Salsa al Vapor by Felipe Tovar Hanao. Shiny Object Syndrome by Matthew Rosenblum, featuring Kevin von Kampen. If you've ever picked up your phone to check one thing and found yourself 30 minutes later scrolling, clicking, and wondering where the time went, this piece is for you. It's called Shiny Object Syndrome by Pittsburgh-based composer Matthew Rosenblum. Performed by the dynamic percussionist Kevin von Kampen, Matthew Rosenblum is no stranger to complexity. His music often blends microtonality, driving rhythms, and cross-cultural influences to create soundscapes that are both urgent and unexpected. In Shiny Object Syndrome, he dives into the sensory overload of modern life. It's a piece full of sparkle, tension, and sudden shifts of attention, just like everyday reality. Percussionist Kevin von Kampen takes on this challenge with incredible focus and flair, using a wide array of instruments, from resonant metals to sharp attacks. He captures the distracted energy of our hyper-connected age. Here's Shiny Object Syndrome by Matthew Rosenblum, performed by Kevin von Kampen. What an incredible night of music, from mythical tragedy to digital overload, from delicate silence to roaring sound. CAMPGround25 gives us a full spectrum of contemporary expression, but Campground is more than a festival, it's a community. The Contemporary Art Music Project, or CAMP, is dedicated to nurturing living composers, amplifying unheard voices, and creating platforms where bold ideas can thrive. It's a space for new, the unexpected, and the deeply personal. And if you're a composer watching this, consider this your invitation. CAMP is now accepting submissions for upcoming Campground events and projects. If you're writing fresh, fearless music, they want to hear from you.
My name is Miko. I'm a president and pianist of the Contemporary Art Music Project. I'm very excited to invite all of you to CAMPGround26 Call for Works and Installation Proposals. We accept all styles of music and notations, and including all different kinds of instruments, toy piano, recorder keyboard, strings, percussion, winds, and all other instruments. Check out our call announcement. We present 20 to 25 selected works and multiple world premieres, including 3 monodramas in 2026. We present top-notch performers and exciting venues, a unique, truly one-of-a-kind musical experience. Submit your works and proposal now and be a camper.
You can find more information at contemporaryartmusicproject.org. Why we have that big day? Great job, guys. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, fabulous. Anyway, what do you guys think? Did I edit it okay?
Yeah, I think it was cool. It was really seamless. I think it was like, I mean, thank you for like all the kind words about our festival and things, and like, you know, hearing from a different voice than us, just kind of, feeling like we're screaming into the void sometimes. So like, yeah.
Right, it's so true. It's so true. I like, I got to remind people about that. Like, it's good to sort of chat up and like, compliment your colleagues and so forth, spread the word around, and like, you guys are doing like really, really great work. It's like, it's kind of awesome. I like, so every time, Kevin, I see your performance, I think about that light. People don't know, like, it's a live stream. So every time we go in, we do these recordings, we're doing the live streams and so forth. We want to just, get the word out and get as, the biggest attention as we can, right? Mass audiences and so forth. So there's all the, Anne Rowe is, working behind the scenes, but there's also a lot of people like on the ground, doing all the stuff, getting all the mics in place, all the cameras in place, and
Well, and that's kind of the one of our big goals with our festival is to be playing, music in places that wouldn't traditionally be hearing this type of music, so that's a really cool idea, but then actually making that happen takes a lot of behind the scenes work. So you go into an art space isn't immediately ready to play a concert, so bringing in, luckily, places like Tempus Project have a piano and everything, but not every place does. But every other piece of equipment we bring, and the lighting we bring, and then all of the equipment to record. It's not like that stuff is set up otherwise. So anyway, it ends up being a really cool experience. But then people like you and the rest of the tech team are doing a ton of work to make that happen.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, like I said, it was a lot of fun. We had like, like you said, it's an art space, and so they're focusing on the art, which is that's what they do. But yeah, the light was like a thing, but we made it work, right?
Yeah.
And I got to also talk about that piano. The tiger stripes
Oh yeah.
are really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like glow in this video. I thought that
looks cool.
But Kevin, tell us a little bit more about that too. So, a couple times you guys have talked about like all the unique spaces, and I know you've been to Tempus projects a couple times, and you'll be going back to Tempus projects in 2026, right?
Yep. So Tempus project kind of ends up being our through line place that we end up using as one of the spaces every single year. So first of all, it's in the heart of Tampa. It's in our not only like our entertainment district in Ybor City, but also that's a kind of Tampa's cultural hub too. And it like you can learn a lot about the city of Tampa and our history and our foods and everything just by being there. So it's a perfect place to start our festival. And you walk out the door, you just heard a bunch of music, you met a bunch of new people, and you're out on the street with a bunch of people like it's Thursday night in Ybor City. It's like every night's a Friday night. So anyway, but it's exciting, and you go out and you feel the city bustling. But then we have other venues that we've done. Like last year we used a place called Door Number 5, which is another art space that it has basically an indoor space where the owner of the place is also curating a bunch of different art, and it's got a nice outdoor space where then, if you're playing an outdoor concert, you have to be amplifying your instruments to make them, there is no, beautiful reverberance off of, the walls, because it's just the sound is gone. So when we play in these spaces, we're also making sure that we're doing the performances justice by making sure everything is heard, in these really delicate pieces. So this year we'll be playing at a place as well called Disco Dolls Studio, which is it's like a multi-use sort of art space as well. And so it's a blank canvas when we walk in, and then it's, we make a music space out of it.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is one of the cool and unique things about your festival. It's just like this sort of, reaching out into the community, into different spaces, and it's outreach, right? People talk about outreach all the time, and I feel like that word is kind of overused and so forth, but you truly are like reaching out to the public and showing them what we do. So is Tempus the only like anchor venue that you have for the festival?
We also have the actual the last performance every year is a house concert at the CAMPGround house. And so every year we kind of we'll play our last concert, and then we have a big celebration party with everyone. And the exciting part about that is this year that will also be the venue that A Little House Music, our installation project, is housed. So we have 4 accepted composers, all led by Anthony Green on this project. And we have a special artist in this house right now who will be presenting a little something during that as well, right, Rob?
Yes.
Exciting.
I couldn't resist.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It's a great idea. I love it. And anyway, you guys are great performers and so forth. But the chance to convert a house into an instrument is
yeah,
the thing we all should be doing.
Yeah, that's right.
Philippe, what did you think about all that?
It was great to get another chance to listen to these 2 pieces. The performance by Kevin is extraordinary. I really enjoyed the recording, and even more so the being there live. Getting to experience the the actual acoustics of the room, and yeah, I think Matthew's piece is excellent, and obviously very grateful for Yuni's performance. I mean, she really put a lot of effort into it. It's not an easy piece by any means. But yeah, and thanks, Robert, for the introductions, and obviously for inviting me to be part of the program.
Of course. And I think anyway, it's always a pleasure to present great music. The festival, like I said, I'm a big advocate of the festival. You guys also play lots of great music from great composers. We're going to be doing several concerts, several composers' voice shows. In 2 weeks, we do composers' voice every 2 weeks here. And so in 2 weeks from now, we're going to be presenting Daru Lee and Yao Xiao and the Kevin, help me. The Pan Project?
Yes, Pan Project.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be presenting them. They were the other musicians that were on that first night at Tempus Projects. And I would this is a great way for me to present and promote your great music and get it out there to more audiences. And anybody in Tampa and around Tampa and so forth that's listening to this and so forth, I cannot encourage you more to come down and listen to it live, because it's great. It's great to thank you for listening, but
it's not the same.
It's like magic there. I have both Kevin, your performance was really, really, really fabulous. I think I said I've seen Matthew's piece played elsewhere. I think I think you might have played it better, in my opinion. No shade on the other guy, but and Philippe too. Also, I love your piece. Listening to it live was magical. It's a great work. I enjoyed it a great deal.
Thank you.
So also anybody out there who wants to ask us a question before they go, there you go. And I would love to. Let's play a video for about the call, just in case anybody wants to write it down and take some information. Awesome.
There it is.
Excellent. I don't know. Before we close out, Kevin, Philippe, do you guys have any things you want to add or plug or say about?
I will say with the call, I get questions in the email all the time asking, basically like, can you guys do this? Are you willing to do this? And I think our answer is yes to almost all of these things. If we have the performers available, we're willing to try these things, and we're willing to experiment, and we're willing to, go back and forth with you to help make these performances, what you're envisioning. So if you have a wild idea and something like that, if you have a piece that you're trying to help bring to life, let us, take a crack at it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just to encourage anyone who's listening who might be interested, definitely apply, and it's a great opportunity. And as Yumi said, you really feel that it's not just like a festival, it's going to be a community, and it's a great thing.
Fabulous. And Philippe, anything coming up for you personally?
Well, so I just started a new position as a professor in AI and composition here at the University of Florida. So I just moved to Florida from Cincinnati, and currently working on my first LP.
Great. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Awesome. Kevin, Philippe, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next time.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you, Robert.